It's a matter of facts, and a matter of fact, we're all under attack. Check the facts of my raps and the fact that attacks is taken from us all by the feds with the bat. Get the gat, you know where they at. Stop falling for the tricks and enter the traps. You walking right in to the fire and flames with a smile on your face while they put you in chains. Owned by the state, you fall for free. They pull you closer to the lies that they sell on TV. To know thyself is to own yourself. Why would you ever think that they held you out when they laughed as they passed a sick law like the Patriot Act? Now you're trapped in the mask and blind to the fact that if you don't pay the state, you get the axe. It's off with your head, getting half of your check, or they'll give you lead. So stop telling me that you're free. Nobody can ever give you liberty. You were born with it.
You can't give me the right to be a human being. I'm born with that right. Now you can keep me from having that if you've got all the policemen and all the jobs on your side.
Welcome back to another Alternate Economy Wednesday show. Sorry, I forgot to unmute the mic there. Didn't want you to hear me clicking around while that music was playing. I appreciate y'all joining me again. Anti-Zionist King, thanks for joining me. I'm on it, buddy. So anyways, first thing I wanted to cover, like I said, thanks for joining me for another show. The first thing I wanted to cover is, so last week it wasn't really a giveaway. It was kind of a contest. I don't know. It was a participation thing, I guess. I wanted to get people to start getting involved with cryptocurrency so we can get off of what were typically, the fiat currency and the central banking cartel. So I asked people to download, here, let me get it pulled up real quick. I asked people to go try out, for example, Free Wallet, one of the cryptocurrency wallet I prefer. And if people went and downloaded a free wallet, then sent me their Ethereum wallet address, and I was going to send them $10 in Ethereum. And my friend V for Voluntary said he would match that. However, I said I'd give 2 days. That was on the 6th. I said I'd give 2 days for people to respond. I didn't get any responses, of course. Deplatformed for a week on my biggest platform, YouTube, which is fine with me. I'm trying to get off YouTube. But that's probably why I didn't get a whole lot of responses. So I encourage anybody, if you have any kind of wallet, cryptocurrency wallet, if you have an Ethereum address, you send that to me and I will send you $10 in Ethereum. Well, let me back that up. Everybody that sends me their address, I'll throw it in a hat in 2 days. So what's today here? Today's the 13th. So on the 15th, I'll throw all those names in a hat, all those wallet addresses, I should say, and I'll pull one out. And whoever that is, you get $10 from me and $10 from V for Voluntary to encourage people to use cryptocurrency. They did have a dip at the beginning of the week, but things are rebounding and looking pretty good. I'll just show you here. Just pull up my free wallet and we'll just show you here what we got going on. So, Bitcoin, we're looking at, it's up to 37,513 right now. Monero, the anonymous cryptocurrency, a great one to use at 165.85, and Ethereum is at 1,117. So they fell early in the week, but they have rebounded. From what I've seen, that's pretty typical to watch, especially when you've seen these huge increases like Bitcoin. Let me just show you here. Week, month. We'll go back to the month here, and you can just see right over here. You can see how much it's gone up. So when you have that much of an increase, that's just in a month, 94% increase in 1 month Bitcoin had. So when you have that much, of course, when you get up here, people they want to cash in and make profit off of that, so they're going to sell. Because if you bought it way back here, you could potentially make a decent amount of profit. So that's why you have these big sell-offs like that. But now we're rebounding, we're recovering, we're going back up. That's how the market works. So don't be afraid to invest in cryptocurrency. As Bitcoin goes right now, that tends to be the way the rest of cryptocurrency goes. I will say Monero is a little bit different. One of the big reasons is because it is anonymous. You can't be tracked on it. It's your interactions are anonymous. Nobody knows how much you have, how much you've spent, as long as you're doing a Monero to Monero exchange with someone else, a peer-to-peer exchange. So because of that, a lot of central banks, countries with central banks, are trying to get that outlawed. So that does kind of fight its popularity a little bit, or not fight it, kind of keeps its popularity down a little bit more. But it's had a pretty steady climb since I started investing in it as well. So it's one I encourage everybody to invest in as well. So I just wanted to bring that up. If you send your Ethereum address to questionableauthority@protonmail.com, I will send out, I'll put, like I said, I'll put your name in a hat, and on the 15th, I'll draw one Ethereum address, and I'll send $10 worth of Ethereum to that wallet, and so will V for voluntary. So let me just put that email address up there, and put the subject of that, if you do that, put the subject of that email as Ethereum, so that I know what you're talking about, and that'll enter you into there. Yeah, anti-Zionist king, I agree. I think the whole point of the Great Reset is to get only one currency for the whole world, and so that they can control it. So I kind of tend to agree with you there that really the rest of it won't have much value. Some of the metals, precious metals like silver especially, we use it in a lot of our gadgets, our tracking devices, our phones, etc. That the predator class wants us to continue to have those, I think, because they can track us and know exactly what we want, and all that kind of good stuff. So I think that might still have value, but not necessarily to us, because they'll control all of it. So all right, so let me see here. I'm trying to keep on task. All right, real quick, I just want to point a few things out. So if you are interested in the alternate economy and agorism, I definitely would encourage you to check out the greaterreset.org website here. This is starting January 25th and 29th. There's going to be a big conference. The activation of the Greater Reset, I guess, is a better word. It's what it says right here on the website. Pulled up so you can make sure you guys can see that. So definitely go check that out. Look into it. I would encourage you to create your own watch party. I'm going to have a watch party here at my house for people to check it out. It's all-day events. I think I heard today it's from like 6 to 9, so definitely they're all day. There's tons of different speakers and guests. So I encourage everybody to get on Freedom Cells, freedomcells.org, and see if there's any watch parties. You can check out, see if there's any watch parties in your area. So the greaterreset.org, right, it's a huge part of this alternate economy. There's a lot of people there that are leading the way and helping us understand how to do this. There's no set way, because that's what liberty is we get to choose our own way. So keep that in mind, and these are suggestions, kind of a framework of how to do things, all these presenters and how the information they're providing to us. All right, and so with today's episode, what I really wanted to focus on is how are businesses going to stand up? In Spokane here, we have a business that the Black Diamond, they serve liquor, and the liquor board has threatened, obviously, to remove their liquor license, but also if they serve liquor without a license, to throw them in a cage. The owners, the employees, anybody who serves liquor without a license there, to throw them in a cage. And that's not okay. So, we're we're trying to find ways to fight that. And of course, like I've talked about before, that's really scary. So, one of the ways, I talked about it on a previous show, but I want to talk about it again. So that's just kind of the focus of it, and just exploring agorism a little more, because any way you're going outside of the system and refusing to pay taxes and licensing fees, that's agorism. You're becoming an agorist, which is an alternate economy. So I want to explore that a little bit more. I'm going to play a couple of videos here. But before I get into that, I just want to bring up real quick, if you're a business or you're a person and you are complying, or you're not sure how to stand up, or you are starting to stand up and you're getting some heat on your neck, if you're a business or an individual, I would encourage you to go to freedomcells.org or peoplesrights.org. These are both organizations that focus on having a central, in your local areas, people that you can connect with and will help you stand up, will be there for you because they believe in freedom. Excuse me. So both of these organizations are really important in my view. I don't have a link to throw up there right now, but it's peoplesrights.org and freedomcells.org are the names are the websites for both of those. I'll throw them here. Let me just toss them in the description real quick. I can do that. So there's Freedom Cells, and here's the People's Rights link. So I just threw those, and I'll have those if you're watching this the next day, Thursday morning, on one of my other platforms. Hopefully not YouTube. Hopefully you're watching me on Library, 3Speak, DTube, Minds.com, or I guess I already mentioned Library. Hopefully you're watching me on those, but if you are watching me on one of those instead of DLive tonight, those links will be in the description. So I encourage you to go check those websites out, register on them, and start connecting with like-minded people in your area. All right, so moving on here. I have a video I want to show. This is from Alexis Bushman. She's doing this video as part of a series she's doing on resisting taxes, paying your taxes. So I just want to real quick show this, and she's going to kind of explain agorism. The title of this video is Agorism as a Tax Resistance Method. So she's going to kind of explain that. So let me go ahead and just get it playing for you.
Today I'm going to be talking about agorism as a tax resistance method. Agorism is a practice of civil disobedience through counter-economics by which one avoids state harassment and thereby lives a more peaceful and prosperous life. This is a strategy for living free. By avoiding interactions with the state and instead partaking in entirely voluntary exchanges and associations with other agorists, we may completely own ourselves rather than have our output of labor and products stolen from us by the state. This reduces our contribution to corruption, bureaucracy, civil rights abuses, and ultimately war. In practice, any form of trade can be agorist if we remove state influence and interact under the table. The collection of legal but unregulated products and services is referred to as the gray market, using cash, cryptocurrency, or non-profit gifting strategy and avoiding or ignoring regulations, licensing, permit requirements are all examples of gray market activity. The other side of counter-economics is the black market. Immediately we think sex work, drugs, exotic animals, etc. But this also includes illegal, unapproved medication and therapies that help people with AIDS and cancer. It's estimated that in most of the world, the black and gray market vastly outweigh the regulated white government-controlled markets in terms of fiscal economic value. This is most likely due to extreme level of taxes and fees applied to legal transactions, including but not limited to the multiple levels of income tax, sales tax, property tax, payroll tax, licensing, and annual upkeep and regulation fees, just to name a few. In some places, over 90% of the known markets are technically illegal, but kept away from enforcement by a combination of bribery, stealth, government failure, and ineptitude. Anytime you buy illegal drugs, including unlicensed alcohol, you're an agorist. Anytime you pay or get paid under the table or off the books an untaxed wage, you're an agorist. Anytime you build an unpermitted structure on your own private property, you're an agorist. Anytime you use cryptocurrency, maybe you've heard of Bitcoin? Anytime you own or do anything forbidden by the state which does not harm anyone else, you're an agorist. Any peaceful, non-violent, entirely voluntary interaction outside of state control is agorism. And if you're engaging in agorism, you aren't paying taxes. If you engage in agorism or counter-economics, you're breaking some law. So of course it comes with some risk. But how effective is law enforcement really? How committed are you to keeping your money out of the government's hands and in your own pocket? You should research what laws your gray and black market activities are connected with. Know your risks, prepare for the worst, but the agorist community is a strong, growing, and powerful network. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more videos on how to stop paying taxes.
All right, so Definitely go check out Alexis Bushman's channel. I put a link there. When you go check her out, make sure to tell her to get off of YouTube, get on to library, come over to DLive, stuff like. Tell her to get off of YouTube. But no, she had some really good information in there. What she said, you know, to make sure to understand that if you do participate in agorism, which I encourage, you are breaking the law. But keep in mind that's man's law. It's not natural law or God's law, depending on how you look at it. As long as, you know, if you follow the non-aggression principle and you follow natural law, if you're not hurting anyone else, you're not damaging or stealing anyone else's property, or you're not defrauding anyone else, then you should be left alone. No force should be used against you. So I thought that was really important, because that's, like I said, that's what we're talking about. Like the Black Diamond, for example, here is very nervous to open up. Like today in Spokane, we had a horrible windstorm and it damaged their tent where they've been serving liquor and food to people because they're allowed to by the king here in the state of Washington if they do it that way, outside in a tent. So their tent blew away today and got all ruined. So they said they're closed indefinitely until they can figure something else out. So myself and some other people who are trying to encourage people to just abandon dealing with the state and the force involved with it and the unethical nature of its edicts and statutes. We encouraged them to just open back up and try different things. So one of the things that we discussed was not opening up as a bar or a restaurant, but a private club. So then, you know, people started saying, well, what about, does that so you got to have like a cover charge or a membership fee to get in? Well, I don't think a private club you have to have a membership fee to get into. You can be a private club without a fee. But if that's the case, then maybe like a $5 fee, and that gets you in the door, and then you get a free drink or something like that, you know, when you get in your first beer, or $5 off your meal or whatever. But that does bring something else up. So let's say I want to get an additional beer. Well, I guess how it works is if you want to support the Black Diamond as a club, then you would gift them something, right? You give them a gift. So you give a gift of maybe, let's say, $5.50. And for that, there's a certain selection of things you can choose from. Let's say maybe you gave a gift of $12. Now there's a whole nother tier of things that you can choose from. So that's just one way of doing it. So I just wanted to bring that up, and I want you guys to leave me some comments. Think about if you guys want to call me or something like that. That's fine. I'm ready to take some phone calls tonight, but I want to have a discussion tonight. So I'm going to play one more video. This is from Sal the Agorist, and I want to play a little bit of this video. See, it's from Crypto. It's on my library here. Let me get it pulled over here. It is from Crypto Tips. So I'll put a link in there while it's playing. But while it's playing, I want you guys to think about other ways that a business can accept money from us as customers, or people that want to support them, not necessarily customers, and kind of live outside of the lines of the state and the man's law, the legal framework that they've used to control us, and how we conduct business with each other. Excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and get this video playing for you here.
Generally the gist of what Agorism is.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I know one of your kind of definitions of it, you said it is the use of free market economics to subvert or upend any state-controlled industry. I really like that. So let's get into counter economics. What is that?
Counter economics is, again, it's really just the use of, like you said, the use of free market economics to subvert or undermine the state apparatus. But more specifically, there are really two components to counter economics. The first is the sort of creation of a local production facility that bypasses state regulations. So a good example would be like a blockchain miner, right? You're creating a currency, right, in a way that bypasses the state regulations. A 3D printer is a good example of a local production facility. A mint to tokenize your business on the blockchain, that's another example. So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect is sort of just voluntary exchange, just peer-to-peer exchange amongst individuals. the true strength of counter economics comes from a union of those two strategies, right? So when people create Bitcoins and then they trade them, that's what's really damaging to the state, right? That's what really hurts them.
Do you think the state will be won, or will be at least partly defeated mostly by guns or by crypto, or like a combination?
I think all of it. Right? I think that counter economics in general is what's going to sort of win the day. Eventually, all this pressure will be brought to bear on the state. There's a great book by J. Neil Shulman called Alongside Night, where him and Sam Konkin, the two founders of Agorism, they wrote this fictional novel about the collapse of the state based on the Agorist revolution. So that's a really great story illustrating the Agorist revolution. If anybody's interested in learning more about it, that's the book they should read. But overall, I think that at the end of the day, the pressure will be too great for them, and it'll be a result of all of the counter-economic activity. A good example of this happening in real life would be Gandhi. I don't know if you're familiar with Gandhi's story and the whole idea, the concept of satyagraha. But essentially, the British, they'd colonized the Raj, they colonized India, and they were extorting wealth from their colonies. Well, Gandhi had the idea of, rather than paying the salt tax, which is where the British were getting their money from, well, hey, look, we'll just go into the ocean and get salt ourselves. And, of course, they had the salt march and so on and so forth. But that's what forced the British out of India. That's what got the Indians, some semblance of freedom. Of course, the Indians, this is a pre-Rothbardian era. As soon as the British got out, they just instituted a new state, which was, of course, a mistake. We see a lot of problems with Modi and stuff like that, but, they're not under British colonial rule anymore, and that's a product of counter.
All right, I'm going to stop it there. We don't necessarily need to go any further. But he recommended a really good book there. I started looking into it. I haven't read that myself, but I started looking into it, so I put the link there in the comments for you guys that are checking it out right now, that are with me right now. Check that out. Sounds like there's a movie made about it as well. Obviously, usually read the book instead of the movie, but if time is short, then go ahead and check out the movie, I guess, and maybe you can get the gist of it. Get that minimized out of the way. All right, so and here's the book here, Alongside Night, by Neil Shulman. So yeah, definitely go check that out. You can probably find it for free, like downloading it somewhere online. That's the great thing about the internet, is you can usually find stuff like that. I would encourage you to somehow support the author if you get something out of the book. So what do you guys think? People that are watching, do you guys have any ideas? Like I said, so the Black Diamond, if this bar in Spokane County here that has opened up and has had threats from the liquor board, that's kind of what I presented to him, and I presented this. So I shared this article before from Lou Rockwell, where there's a bar in Dansville, New York, that did the same thing. They declared themselves a private club, and then when the liquor board did pull their license, so they didn't have jurisdiction over there anymore, and then so the local police had jurisdiction, but then it was a private club, so they have to have a warrant to come in there. So, well, you better go get a warrant. You know what I mean? So there's lots of ways to fight this. That's one of them that I've seen that apparently has worked so far. Not to say that the state's going to come down on you if you decide to resist. The state's going to keep fighting you and try to win and win. But that's the point, is you just keep standing on your principles that you're not hurting anyone, you're not damaging or stealing anyone else's property, and you're not defrauding anyone. If you keep stealing that, if you keep sticking to those principles, at the end of the day, it's going to expose the state and its absolute cruelty, because the state will at some point use force against you. They will at some point try to extort money from you, make threats of extortion, make threats to throw you in a cage. And then if you still resist, they will actually come take money from you, and they will actually come throw you in a cage for resisting. That's what the Black Diamond has been threatened with, is being thrown in a cage for me going inside of their building and saying, I want a beer, or I want this, and voluntarily giving them money, me taking the risk of going in there and them taking the risk of working and all that. That's what we're being faced with. So understand that the state only knows force, and we have to be ready for that. But there are ways we can protect ourselves, like I said, declare yourself as a private club now, so they can't come in anymore. You're not open to the public. You're only open to people that you allow in there, and you're not serving liquor. You're not selling drinks. You know, hey, if somebody gives you a gift towards your club, then you have rewards for that. You have thank yous that you're giving out. So that's just one way. But because people aren't really standing up, one of the other things I've started really looking into is, I mentioned it before on maybe my second episode of this Alternate Economy Wednesday, is in maybe opening up my house as a restaurant. So maybe like 3 nights a week, doing the same thing. You know, coming in and, okay, so if you give me a gift of $15, then these are what options are available to you as a thank you for that gift. You know, I have, maybe a couple of different meal options that I can give them as a gift. Or, okay, you're going to give me $30 as a gift. Well, here's a whole nother tier. You can get 2 of these $15 gifts, or you can choose 1 gift from the $30 tier. So I don't know, myself, that's really a way to go around it. And then, of course, if you really want to double it, don't accept fiat currency. Accept some cryptocurrency, like I said. So it's really simple. All I'd have to do, I could show them, I have right here, if I wanted to receive some, so I come right here, oh, you're going to send me some Monero, right there. They can use they can use a phone, or they can there's the address right there. They can send me, copy and paste the address, or they can use a QR code to scan right there. Oh, you got Bitcoin. Sure, I accept Bitcoin right there. Oh, Ethereum. Oh, okay. Oh, Dash right there. Look at that. You just keep going down the list. This is just one wallet, but look at all these different cryptocurrencies I can accept. All I have to do is click on one, and here's my wallet address for that. So it's really simple. Now, personally, I would prefer Monero. Hey, you got some Monero? Send me some Monero. Nobody's going to know how much you sent me. I don't even know that it came from you necessarily, other than the fact that you're standing here in front of me. So these are ways to work outside of the system. And then when they do come with a warrant and start saying, hey, you're selling drinks, well, first of all, no, I'm not. And I'm not going to answer any questions. That's the first thing you do, is never talk to a government agent. Never answer any of their questions. Now, you can ask them questions about what they're doing and whether it's ethical and logical. Well, like, why are you here? I don't want you inside here. You need to leave. And if they don't leave, okay, well, maybe you can use force against them. That's, those are property rights. If somebody doesn't leave, and they're on your private property, as far as the non-aggression principle, you have the right to defend your property. So, like I said, these are just things I'm thinking about. Hopefully, you guys are thinking about the same things. In my Freedom Cells group, one of the things we talked about last weekend, and for our meeting this Sunday, we meet every Sunday at 3 here in Liberty Lake, is we're looking into, we have several of us that have gardens, and we all want to plant bigger gardens this year. And one of the things we're really looking into doing is we really want to maximize what we can produce from our gardens. So, like, I don't have any huge spaces, but I have spaces that maybe are good for certain types of plants. So we're going to start figuring that out. We're going to start getting those going, not only so that we can provide for ourselves, but there's a lot of people that are like-minded that maybe don't have the resources to be able to stockpile on food, things like that. So it's really important for me anyways, and at least the people that associate with me in my Freedom Cell and the groups I associate with, we want to be able to help out our neighbors as well. So we're trying to produce as much food as possible. You know what? Someone else threw out an idea in the People's Rights group that I'm in today, that, hey, why don't we have a People's Rights farmers market? So we all plant as much produce as we can, and we have a People's Rights farmers market. And how about you can barter? However you want to exchange things, that's up to you. Just leave the government out of it. That's the main thing. Stop going to government and stop going to capitals and asking permission to live free. Just go do it. Go live free. That's the answer we're all looking for. And as we connect with other people in our area, that circle will grow and grow and grow, and more people will see that it's okay to live this way. It's okay to be free. And And as they do that, then we'll be able to help each other when the state does come with its force. We'll be able to help each other. And I'm doing that every day. My circle is growing. It's really amazing when you start. All you have to do is go. If you go to one of these websites, the Freedom Cells or People's Rights, either one of them. If you go to one of those and there's no one in your area, well, guess what? You're the first one. So you get to be the leader. And it's amazing how when people start you just register on Freedom Cells and people will start sending you messages. Hey, I got on there and I saw you. Thanks. You just start connecting with people. So that's the first step. Don't be afraid to be the first one to do it. We really have to start stepping outside of our comfort zone if we want to live free. So hopefully y'all start doing that. Well, it's been a pretty good show tonight. I think I covered everything I wanted to. Let me just make sure here. Oh, let me point this out. So if you are interested, here's that the movie Alongside Night. It looks like it was put out in 2014. I might check it out just to see. Here, tell you what, let's just play the trailer real quick and see what it's about.
Today is the day that I've been warning everyone about for most of my career.
My fellow Americans, let me assure you that we are not witnessing the self-destruction of the capitalist system.
Governments everywhere tell people what they need. But the people already know what they need.
Tolerating dissent is a luxury they can no longer afford.
You're being shipped out to auxiliary tonight.
He's brilliant, Jack.
Barely 16.
Joan of Arc was leading armies into battle at 16.
You're staring at me. Can I join you?
You're now ready to raid Utopia, but we need the two of you to help us.
We're doing this to press the reset button on the American Revolution.
When do we leave?
Get out of here now.
I'm gonna touch you anything, dear.
My father's word can't be trusted.
Blood of patriots and tyrants.
Oh, that was funny. All right, so there you go. There's the preview, little trailer for the movie Alongside Night. So definitely go check that out. I appreciate everybody for joining me tonight. I enjoy everybody that joins me. I appreciate the support. When I leave tonight, I'm going to send you out with something a little bit different. Blood of the Brave was a little bit of the song. That's Freedom 2020 was the song that I played in the intro coming in. So we're going to lead you with something on the way out, another one from Blood of the Brave. This is actually the first one that introduced me to Blood of the Brave. He's an independent artist. I'm going to throw a link in there while it's playing. I hope you enjoy this song, but it really demonstrates the force that the state has and what we need to start convincing more and more people of so they come join us against the state and just stop participating and make the state show its absolute cruelty like you're about to see here. So I hope you enjoy this song. I'm going to put a link up, Blood of the Brave, Man Down. Y'all have an excellent rest of your evening, and don't forget to live free.
I ain't here to talk shop, I'm here to talk cops who crooked and corrupt, who need to be stopped, who aren't afraid to aim, squeeze and release round after round until they put them in sheets. I said, any and everywhere they're hitting it, well aware of what they're doing, and no, they don't care. Everything's illegal and nobody's free. We're all tapped to track, yeah, you and me, hardwired and tuned. They watch in the back room with the cameras on Zoom, laughing at me and you. Yeah, go ahead and think it ain't. Police stick for real, cause the cops got tanks. I got hounds that call out around to the used, but that ain't a problem until they're used on you. I said, one false move, you'll be up on the news in the morning and evening, footage of your family weeping.
Father, he has an 8-year-old son. He at least deserved to be told, put your hands where we can see them.
Man down, yeah, they do what they want, and they rule by force and they're out on the hunt. Man down, they put another in the ground. I got tanks and troops headed to your town. game, it's a shame. That's why I don't play, cause they run the game. Man down, yeah, they do what they want, and they rule by force and they're out on the hunt. They say that's the way it is, but it's sick cause the kids deserve more than to live in the world like this. I'm pissed, I'm phased in the rage, and hop from the flash and the bang grenades. I'm burning alive, cause I'm burning inside. I'm a man on fire, cause another man died. I'm appalled, let's just list them all. I'm sure I'll miss a few, and a few will applaud. They punch kids, shot kids, taste pregnant ladies, taking babies to land, and put cuffs on the hands of veterans. It choked a peacemaker, he broke up a fight, and then died a little later. They shot men in the back who went under attack, and were caught on film, and then lied about the facts and protect each other. They're owning the throne, so don't be shocked at all when they break in your home. Man down, yeah, they do what they want, and they rule by force and they're out on the hunt. Man down, they put another in the ground. I got tanks and troops headed to your town. Man down, it ain't a game, it's a shame. That's why I don't play, cause they run the game. Man down, yeah, they do what they want, and they rule by force and they're out on the hunt. It'll get real in a matter of minutes. Gone without a sentence, no trial, no witness. Man down, it ain't new, get a clue and just think next time it could have been you. Man down, it ain't new, get a clue and just think next time it could have been you. Man down, it ain't new, get a clue and just think next time it could have been you. It'll get real in a matter of minutes. Gone without a sentence, no trial, no witness. Man down, it ain't new, get a clue and just think next time it could have been you. Man down, it ain't new, get a clue and just think next time it could have been you. Man down, it ain't new, get a clue and just think next time it could have been you. All they need is a reason, it don't matter, it's open season. All they need is a reason, it don't matter, it's open season. All they need is a reason, it don't matter, it's open season. All they need is a reason, it don't matter, it's open season. Man down.
Thank you for supporting my work. Independent thought and journalism are under attack. If you want to fight censorship and promote independent thinking and freedom, we need your support. It's not just me. All truth-minded content creators are getting pushed off of the most popular and censorship-loving social media platforms. You can support me by making a donation of cryptocurrency. I have multiple wallets listed in the description of every video. If you still love your international banksters' fiat currency, I have links to PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App listed as well. If you're unable to donate in that fashion, consider signing up for Library, 3Speak, Hive, Steemit, DTube, or Minds using the links below, and earn some crypto for yourself and me by using my affiliate links. Then, you and I can both be earning decentralized cryptocurrency for you simply watching and interacting with my content.